Well, it turns out that Dakota did not end up in an altercation or a fight or anything like that. If you remember yesterday, I had said that Crazy K had put a post on the FB that Dakota had been in some sort of altercation. Well, this is why he thought Dakota was in an altercation. This is what Dakota's looking like. Now, according to China Doll, I got this from China Doll's FB page. She says she had heard these rumors, that what Crazy K was saying, and she became worried about them, about especially about Dakota. So she went looking for Dakota and Felicity, and she found Dakota at the hospital. It turns out that once again, Dakota has sun poisoning, and he was treated and released from the hospital. And China Doll did say she had one of her friends was going to allow Dakota and Felicity to spend the night last night so Dakota could recover. This is at least the second time that I remember this summer alone that Dakota has gotten sunburned so badly that he had to go to the hospital. I mean, being homeless, of course, they're out in the weather, the elements all day long. But why? I'm sure China Doll would even buy him some sunscreen. Why? He knows that this happens. He's going to end up getting terrible scarring eventually. Not to mention he's vastly increasing his chances of getting skin cancer. He's a young man. He's only early 20s. Why is he not covering his face at least with sunscreen? I just, I don't know. Now, let me give you a trigger warning right here. Trigger warning, this has to do with miscarriages and child loss. So if you don't want to hear any of that, you just scroll on. So there's trigger warning. I know that's hard for a lot of people to hear. This just came to light. I found this on the Facebook page, Sam True Crime and News. She also has a page here on TikTok. She says, I haven't found the clips yet of this, but it was the same live where Dakota and Felicity were hiding in the basement, saying that, and Felicity, remember I had mentioned this yesterday, Felicity was convinced that the cops that were across the street were looking for them. That whole live, okay, where Felicity was freaking out about police and police wanting to put them away for life and being trespassed, all of that mumbo jumbo, right? Felicity allegedly said, according to this Sam True Crime News on FB, said that Felicity claimed she was 34 weeks pregnant and she lost the baby girl. And this was supposedly recent. The lies this girl tells. Now, Felicity, being the thin girl that she is, had she ever been 34 weeks pregnant, we definitely would have been able to tell. 34 weeks, what is a full-term pregnancy? 40 weeks? 34 weeks, the baby would have probably been, pretty, well, the little girl would have been small, of course, but babies much earlier survive. I mean, of course, there's never no guarantee. Point being, I don't believe Felicity was ever 34 weeks pregnant. She goes into this spiel telling us exactly what this baby looked like, the hair color, the eye color, and that she even got to hold this baby after delivery. She doesn't speculate on what may have went wrong or nothing, because we know this is a lie. This never happened. And she said that her and Dakota are actively trying to conceive. That would be the absolute worst thing that could happen to these two. Could you imagine the child? And I mean, I hate to say it, if Felicity did become pregnant, I don't think they would have custody of the child very long, because it's clear to see that they can't take care of themselves. I even look at Dakota. He can't even put sunscreen on his face. And you know that hurts. Look at his face. You know that hurts. So yes, Felicity was 34 weeks pregnant with a little girl by Dakota. And that's why she calls him baby daddy. I don't believe a word of it. 34 weeks, we would have definitely been able to tell. Definitely been able to tell. Now, there's a little drama stirring between Nisha and Tiffany. If you remember, these characters are also involved in this whole saga. Nisha was the one who had first taken in Dakota and Felicity, and they ended up breaking the TVs when they left. Tiffany was the latest one to come into this whole picture, and the one that took them to get the DVP, the protection order for the DV situation against China that never existed. So, Nisha wrote out this post on the FB talking about Tiffany didn't keep her word about not posting about Dakota and Felicity, and this isn't her fault, her fault. And apparently, she claims that Tiffany was mad at her for not going to the court with her over this DVP when Tiffany knew that Felicity was lying. Whether she knew or not, we'll never know. I mean, I have yet to see where she has admitted that she knew Felicity was lying. And Tiffany says that she hadn't spoke with Nisha says she hadn't spoke with Tiffany in about 6 years, and she did not realize just how bad Tiffany's mental health is. And apparently, Crazy K has said these same sentiments, that Tiffany has some issues, some mental health issues that, need to be addressed. So, and then finally, in this whole saga, Crazy K made a post on the FB, and it's a picture of him and China Doll because they recently ran into each other again. And he wants to know questions on what he should ask China Doll in an interview. And Dakota and Felicity will be there too. So now we have Crazy K going to do some kind of bootleg interview again. So he says. He'll probably ask for 200 stars to post it like he did last time, $2. And he's going to interview China Doll, and he will, and he had to say that Dakota and Felicity will be there also. Of course they will, because China Doll could say all she wants. I mean, I hope she proves me wrong and does not allow these two to move back in with her. She's saying she won't, but I just have this feeling that she will. And I can only wonder, China's friend that let them spend the night last night so Dakota could recover, I can only hope that she was not bamboozled by these two and allows them to stay in her house, or she'll be the next one cleaning up poop off the floor. So what do you think of this whole messy situation? Let me know all your thoughts.